podcast. This is the first episode, and today we're joined by Ewan Mackenzie. How you feeling, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, pal. You?
Bit different from the boxing ring?
Yeah, it makes a change from getting punched in the face. Nice day off it, so...
Fair enough, mate. Well, we've got plenty to talk about, mate. So, like I said, there's a drink you have, we've got a nice little setting. It's a bit different. We're in the back room of a boxing gym, so it's pretty close to home, I'd say to you.
Yeah.
Would you say so?
Yeah.
So, to start off, mate, obviously I know who you are a little bit, but for the people that don't know, let's go way back, mate. Who is Ewan Mackenzie?
Ewan Mackenzie's just some fat kid from youre that just likes a bit of a scrap. No, I basically started boxing when I was probably about 12 or 13, maybe younger, but didn't take it very serious. You know, I was just turning up to the sessions, and that wasn't like serious like I am now. And then I had like quite a few years off, gained a lot of weight, was out partying all the time, drinking, getting into bar, stuff like that, and then found boxing, and it just changed my life, really, to be honest.
Would you say like going out and stuff like that, was like mates that did boxing with you, or?
No, none of us really done boxing that went out. It was like it was like all the lads that I grew up with. You know, would go out every weekend, twice a week, and just get in trouble, to be honest.
Yeah. So what age did you start boxing? Like what made you get into boxing?
I think when I started taking it serious, it was like 17, 18. When I found Bilton Hall, that's where I first boxed out of, and I sort of just fell in love with it. I always sort of did like, cause I would always do pads and like just like randomly pad. Do you know what I mean? Like I wasn't boxing at the time, we'd just do pads, and I was always throwing punches and stuff. But yeah, like that's probably when I first started taking it seriously, was from 18 to from now 24, so like 6-7 years something.
6-7 years. You made a lot of improvements. You did amateur as well,
didn't you?
Yeah,
I did amateurs. I had like 39 fights or something. But I had that in quite a short space of time, you know. A lot of people have that sort of over like a lot more years. We just was sort of playing catch up, do you know what I mean? So I wanted to just build as much experience as I can, so I wasn't afraid to be the away fighter and go down the country and box on someone's home show.
Yeah.
I took all the fights like that, you know, days notice, anything like that. I was just always ready and were just willing to fight anyone.
Yeah. So obviously you didn't. So how many years did you do amateur for? Was it say like 3 or 4? Was it?
Yeah, probably say 3 or 4. Obviously went to do the ABAs in the last year, but that's when the lockdown hit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was like the Wednesday or the Thursday or something. It was literally like on weight and everything. The best of. I know everyone's probably the same, but like the best you felt, and you feel like it's really your time, and then the lockdown hit, and it just balls everything up.
Yeah. So in the lockdown, like I know myself, like doing everything else, it kind of slowed everything down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you still have the same mindset in the thing? Were you still ready to go for the boxing, or?
Yeah, to be honest, I was like isolating with me mum, my sister's boyfriend, and he was padding us every day, and I was running pretty much every day, so I was always training, but it was just the eating side of things. I was just getting probably takeaways every night, so I must have went up to about 88 kilo or something. Do you know what I mean? I fight at like 67, 69 normally, so I put on a load of weight, but I was still fit. I was still doing challenges and stuff, you know, in the inbox, like we're putting in like, oh, you got to do this, run in this time, and everyone was recording it, so we're still being competitive in that. And like I say, he was giving us good pads, so I was still working out every day, but I was just making up for it with the food. So
were you one of those one that was doing the toilet roll trick and that?
I've just got 2 left feet, mate, so stay away from football.
So after lockdown, mate, obviously lockdown passed over, we got all out of it. Was it straight to pro, or was it back to amateur? How did that go?
Yeah, we just decided to turn over I think mine was already sort of made up. Like, do you know, when there was all them rules came out, it was like certain people, like if you were like a pro fighter, you could like train in like certain conditions and stuff like that. So that was another thing what sort of pushed me to do it, because the amateur wasn't up and going for like another, I'm sure it was like 8 months or something.
Yeah, it was a while.
It was still up in the air, so that was another thing. What that was probably like the final straw what made me do it. So
transitioning over from amateur to professional, would you say it was a huge difference, or?
Yeah, it's just a completely different sport altogether, to be honest. Like it's a lot more ruthless, you know. It's like you get the little gloves, and it's that's when you can get knockouts and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like you don't really see knockouts as much in the amateurs, because like the gloves are a bit more safe and stuff like that. But but I always knew I would make a good pro, because I know everyone says that like the style suits it, but I was always like the type that would like be finishing the fight strong and coming on. Always had people hanging on in the last round and that, you know what I mean? For dear life. So I knew with like them extra rounds and just learning the trade and stuff like that, I would do well. Yeah.
So obviously you started training stuff at pros. That moment when you realised, oh, the fight night's coming up. How were you feeling? Like, what was that feeling like?
It was weird, to be honest, because obviously we had been out the ring for a long time with COVID and that, so we hadn't boxed for like, it was like well over a couple of years or something, year and a bit or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it was like you got that excitement, that bit of nerves, and like that bit of excitement in your belly again. It was a nice feeling, and then just got that ring rust off in the first fight. And then we just wanted like the next one straight away. Just got that buzz back.
So obviously after your first one, what was next after your first one? Like what show was it? Was that your big one, or?
The first one was Jaffa's show at Rayton Meadows. And then the second one was it the Probellum? Yeah, it was the Probellum show. That was in December.
Okay. Let's talk about that then, because obviously you boxed on small open motors, you boxed on the big television. The big open motors, what's it like being in the big open motor? What's the behind the scenes? Is it what not everyone sees? Is it?
It's good to be like part of something like that. Knowing there's a big show and you're on that card and stuff. You sort of there's a lot of excitement and stuff, and it gives you that bit more like motivation, and like you're always motivated for a fight, but it just gives you that bit more dedication and stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, the great. I love being a part. Like I would take any fight. You know, I don't mind being on anything, as long as I'm active. I'm not bothered where I box really. I'd box in the car park, you know what I mean, if I had to. So as long as I'm getting a fight, that's what I'm concerned about.
So on fight night, talk with, obviously I've boxed like 1-2 times. I know kind of know how fight night goes, obviously in the background. But for those that don't know how fight night goes, let's talk through it. What's step by step? What do you do when you wake up until the night ends?
So I'll probably go to sleep quite late the night before. So I probably go to sleep quite late the night before, so then I have a bit of a lie in. Because obviously you're not going to box till the night time, so really you just want to be like fully rested. So I normally like just wake up naturally whenever I wake up. Could be like 10 or something, or I would go back to sleep for an hour. I could wake up at 11. You know, get up, get washed, get some food, some good carbs and stuff. Nothing too heavy, because like once you've weighed in, you can eat what you want really, but you don't want to feel like shy for the fight, so you've got to still keep it relatively healthy. I don't like to overeat too much as well, because then you end up feeling like sluggish, and so I just try to keep it light. Get to the venue probably about an hour and a half before your fight. Get in the back, Kieran will do your hands, wrap them, got the music on, bit 80s.
Yeah. Is that what you do? Like, is that what you groove into? Bit of 80s to get going?
Bit 80s music, get we going. Get the gloves on, start warming up, hitting the pads, getting in the zone. Quick chat with the coaches and bit words of advice, and then you're locked in, ready to go.
Yeah. So obviously you got all that prep going behind. So you wake up, you know, whenever you want. You eat. You get there. You get your hands wrapped. Obviously, is it that point when you get your hands wrapped? Are you like, right, now it's time to put, you know, like that game face on?
Yeah, it probably is when you get your hands wrapped, because then it's like, then it, like, it sort of clicks. You like, this is.
Yeah.
It's actually happening.
So obviously, what like the walkout? Obviously, you've been in big arenas, haven't you? So, what's the walkout like? Is it as exciting as you think it is?
Yeah.
Or is it really nerve-wracking to the point where you're like, oh, I can't do this?
Nah, I enjoy it. I sort of like thrive on that, like buzz and like excitement and stuff like that. The noise gets you going and stuff like that. I know the noise can sort of drag you into a fight as well sometimes, you know, when you hear everyone screaming, you can get carried away, but no, it definitely drives you on.
Yeah. You know, it's mad hearing a boxer talk about it, because you don't get to experience it.
Yeah.
So you just think about it, but when you're talking to someone, it's pretty cool to think about.
Yeah, definitely.
So obviously you're in the ring and stuff like that. Can you hear your coach when they're shouting stuff, or can you hear the audience? What can you hear when you're in the ring?
You're pretty like zoned in, to be honest, but you sort of hear like little bits, you know, just like that, like you just hear little words of advice and stuff, little things that they might see that you don't, you know, because you get different perspective from like outside of the ring.
Yeah.
So they might see a certain shot or something that I'm doing wrong, something that I need to, a certain shot that I might need to throw, something like that, and you just take that in.
Yeah. Right, so we've talked about how it all started in the boxing. Let's talk about the first time I met you. Right? Yeah. So, if you didn't know, Ewan was on BBC, Angels Little. First ever time I met you, Ewan came rocking in, like the big boy, Hollywood coming in, the BBC. There was cameras everywhere. I didn't know what was going on. So let's talk about that, mate. BBC. That's got to be a highlight of your life. Would you say it, or?
Yeah, definitely. It was a unreal experience, you know, especially for the Stadium of Light show, where they've followed us about and recorded everything and stuff like that. So it's good to look back on, you know. It's a nice memory.
Yeah.
They've got like all the backstage things and stuff, like if you watch it, you will see more like backstage warming up and stuff like that, and so yeah, I suppose it definitely is something to look back on in the future.
Yeah.
Obviously I put a lot of pressure on myself, because
big cameras are on.
Yeah, it was as I was training for this fight. They were like coming to watch us train, and you sort of like putting yourself out there, but like if it all goes wrong, the fall's twice as bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you look like a twat on telly.
Yeah.
But luckily it went the way it did, and I didn't look like a twat.
Yeah. So would you say that it kind of, so you would say that kind of put a bit more pressure on you?
Yeah, in a way, but you sort of like you can sort of like use it as positive pressure and use it as energy and motivation. Which I definitely did going into that fight. I was pretty confident.
Yeah. So obviously, I've watched the episode that you were on, just out of interest, and I'm guessing it was your girlfriend that's on it as well, isn't she?
Well, my ex now.
Yeah.
I'm actually not with her now.
All right. So how did that go about, like to get onto that show? How did that go about? Like, how did it come around?
It was Sammy Joe and her mum, like the salon owner, and her mum were wanting to like attract more like male audience to the show, something like that. And they wanted like a sports person or something like that. Someone done boxing, someone done sports, and I think they were like, oh well, Callie's boyfriend at the time does boxing, so that could work. Obviously it links with the show as well.
Yeah.
It's not just like some random obviously it would, like, the connection would be through me and her as well, so it sort of made sense.
Yeah.
And they said, like, how would you feel about it, and I was up for it, and
Yeah.
it was good. It was a good experience. Met a lot of great people.
Yeah. So the first ever time they rocked over the cameras, what was that like? How did it go down?
It was quite weird, to be honest, like the first time, because we were doing bits in the gym, but when you were recording, we had like mics on and that, but obviously that was the first time, so you know everything you're saying and that's getting recorded, so it was a bit weird, but like you say, honestly, it was once you recorded a few times, you just forget that they're even there. Do you know what I mean? It's just it was just all like natural. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't it was never anything forced or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you there, because there's been big conspiracies of like TV shows being staged. Is any of it staged?
Nah, it's not. To be honest, it's like they might ask you to like say something again.
Yeah.
Or like say it in a different way, or like they might ask you to talk about something, but it'll still be like all your words. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're not like make you say nothing like that.
Yeah.
Nothing you don't want to say.
Yeah. So after, obviously, you've been, how many episodes you did a full season with them, did you? Or
yeah.
Was it a couple?
It was a couple. I can't remember. Was it 2? Yeah, it was 2.
2 seasons.
I'm not sure how much I was in the first one, but yeah, the second one was quite a bit.
Yeah. So obviously, being television, and it's a bit strange when you see yourself on it.
Yeah.
Would you say that helped you as a pro boxer to try and get your name out there, or is it just as normal? Or
yeah, it definitely did, to be honest, because it's just any publicity is good publicity, isn't it? Especially when you're like in boxing and you're trying to sell tickets and make a name. So there's people that do know you through the show, but like sort of follow your career as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I always had like a load of nice messages off people and stuff like that. So it definitely does help with that side of things.
You ever had any moments when you got walking down the quay and you asked for a photo yet, or signature?
Oh, nah, there's a couple of funny ones. But it's all love. They're all nice people and that, you know.
Yeah. So what's next with that? Are you continuing with that? Are you doing another season with them?
There was talks of doing more in the summer, but I don't think I will be now, with obviously not being with Callie.
Yeah.
That'll probably be the end of me on Angels of the North.
No, that'll be a sad thing to see, mate. It'll be sad. I think you were the highlight of it.
I know, I've lost the main character, but you know.
Yeah, mate, you'll be on the big cameras for jokes soon.
Right. Unless someone is back for we'll have to get the checkbook out.
Big boy monies. I'll see you rolling around in a Mercedes next time. So obviously you got the BBC, you got the start of it. You used to box Bilton. I don't know, now you've moved on to Lewis Ritson's gym. What's it like working in Forest Hall?
Oh yeah, it's class, honestly. I've learned a lot, and I've sort of adapted a lot of things that they teach, because obviously I know every gym's different, you know what I mean? Every gym has like a different sort of like coaching style, you know.
Yeah.
So I've definitely picked up a lot of things from that gym.
Yeah.
Trying to adapt that written job.
Yeah.
Trying to put that in, but yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to showing what I can do.
Yeah. In the Ritson camp, would you say it's identical to Ritson's camps? Obviously, we know Ritson being in like WBA, like Eliminators and stuff like that, big world title fights and stuff like that. Is it an even bigger mindset for you, knowing that you're in a camp with a champ? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But also an upcoming champ. What's that like being in?
Yeah, it's great. You know what I mean? Look up to Lewis and like to watch him and stuff. You know, when he's sparring and that, I always like to watch his rounds and see what he does and what I can take from that. And like the work ethic and stuff. You know, like the work we do in the gym, like the grind, that's what they call it. It's hard work, you know, and it makes you realise like how hard you have to work in this sport.
Yeah.
And that's allowed me to up my game because I step it up now, do you know what I mean? So it's a great place to be.
Yeah. So obviously seeing there, it's like it's hard work. And what's the biggest, like, would you say, like the hardest thing to be a pro boxer? What would you say that is?
To be honest, I love training. I love I train every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Do you know, I'm in the gym all the time. Training's not a problem for me. It's probably the eating.
The eating.
Because I just love food. So like when I'm dieting and that, it's the worst. I hate it.
When you're dieting, do you have to just eat like rabbit food or like?
Pretty much. May as well be. Yeah. It's just like bland and boring, innit? You know what I mean?
Bland and boring.
I don't enjoy it.
So after the fight, what do you go for? Do you go straight for a kebab? What do you go for?
Everything.
Anything you can
just a bit of everything off the menu. Just the works.
You not got like a local place where you go to straight after fights, and not like a ritual you're gonna do after a fight. Like a certain place you're gonna go.
And there's certain places I would go, but they're normally closed by the time you like obviously get home and that. So
yeah.
it's normally just like one of the takeaways that are open,
yeah.
whatever's available. But I always go for like breakfast the next day. There's some nice breakfast places I like to go to down Seaburn. So.
Well, what's they like? What do you get there?
There's a place called Love Lilies in Seaburn, and they do like breakfast. We can get like pancakes and stuff like that as well. And
like for American stuff.
So you just get a bit of everything from there.
That's like, you know what it is, I think I might just turn pro maybe. Just for this grand after that. Do people treat you as well? Like do you not buy it? But like, everyone's like, no. Breakfast
I
on
wish.
it.
No, but it tastes better as well. You know, when you've been obviously dieting for that long, it's
like a treat, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why you kind of stop after a fight. You just pure binging, but it's because you've been like running on empty for so long. It's.
Yeah. So after a fight, you don't go on a mad one with the lads. Like you just have a little chill.
Nah, not really. Like after the last fight, I literally watched the show and just went straight home.
Yeah.
Didn't go out and out like that. But yeah, it's just you try not to. Do you know what I mean? It can sort of sidetrack you. Yeah. Especially now I've got like a couple of fights lined up. I don't really want to be out. Because the temptation of like drink and stuff like that. And that's no good for a boxer.
So what's recovery like? Like how many days does it take after fight like recover?
I always have like a couple of days off. I'm normally in the gym by the next week, like the local gym, like doing a run or something like that. But that's probably just down to guilt of how much food I've eaten. So I'm just trying to burn a few calories.
Yeah.
But you do need them few days a week, like, do you know what I mean, just to recover, especially from like all the spawn and stuff like that. You know, your body's in bits.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been in a hard fight and you've took a few hits as well.
Yeah. When you've taken a few hits, like, is it like, obviously it's gonna hurt innit, but after a few days are you still like, aches and pains?
Yeah, sometimes it can be like that. Sometimes it's like the ones where you have like you thought, I haven't been hit as much. Sometimes they hurt the most. And then when you've been in the war, it's like yeah, right.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you just get like aches in like your shoulders or your back or like.
Yeah.
I never really get any injuries now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Touch wood. But just like sore head, something like that.
Yeah. So what's obviously like pro boxing? You got to train constantly, but what's behind that? You know, obviously you got to keep training, you got to keep yourself fit, you got to keep sparring, you got to keep like steel sharpened. Behind that, like the sponsors and the ticket sales, is that as easy as everyone thinks it is?
No, it's actually really hard. It's a really hard sport. You know, like when you're doing all that training and that, and then in between you're running about dropping tickets off and trying to sort that out and getting like people interested, and it can be a bit of a hassle. Luckily I have like my sister now, and she helps us with my tickets, and she'll help us like drop them off to people and stuff like that. So that's a massive help. She helps us loads with stuff like that. I don't think I'd do it on my own.
Yeah. So obviously, like, what about the sponsors? Is it easy getting sponsors? Would you say it's easier getting a bigger sponsor or a little sponsor?
I've been quite fortunate, to be honest, because there's, like, I've always had people willing to help me. You know, there's a lot of people that show a lot of love, so I'm quite lucky in that sense. But I know it is hard because I know some people do struggle for it. You know, because it's one of them things where there's a lot of people out there, and it's quite there's a lot of competition, you know. So you've got to sell yourself well and be exciting, and that's what I try and be in my fights. That's why I try to be exciting as I can.
So obviously we've got the sponsors and stuff like that. We've got the boxing. What's your favourite boxer though? Like who inspires you? Like past boxers or current boxers?
Probably like Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather.
I like Joe Calzaghe for like his boxing style, and I like to fight like him.
Yeah.
But Floyd Mayweather for like his work ethic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I watched a good video the other day, and it was a woman. She was I can't remember what she was. She was like always in his camp and like around, and she was just seeing like how like much of a hard work guy he is, and just seeing that that's how everyone should live their life by. And no matter what you do in life, you should work that hard and make sure you give it everything. And that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. So I was talking about Floyd Mayweather there. So are you mate? I don't know if you're mates with Aaron or you know him. Did you watch that fight with Aaron and Floyd?
I watched the highlights of the fight. There was a few clips. But I don't know him personally, but obviously I know who he is. Yeah. I'm pals with his coach, Nick. Obviously Nick's a good lad. But I don't know Aaron personally. Yeah.
So obviously it was, but it wasn't a bit of influencer boxing. Well, influencer boxing's taking a bit of a rise now, isn't it? So being a professional boxer, would you say it's a good thing, like it coming up? Would you say it's a bad thing? How do you feel on the influencer boxing?
To be honest, I don't really see how it can be a good thing for boxing.
Yeah.
Because it's like now, a lot of these influencers that are doing YouTube and that, a lot of them have just stopped making videos now, and now they're just like full-time boxers.
Yeah.
So like, if they were sort of still doing the YouTube full-time, they're still making videos and they're doing that on the side as like a sort of a gimmick thing, and it was just like a bit of fun, but like it's sort of like they've just
like taking it over.
Yeah, it's like that's just become the life now.
Yeah.
Which I understand but then I sort of understand because then like if you are going to have a fight, you are going to want to give yourself the best chance of winning, so you are going to want to do it like as much as possible. But then sort of that's where it gets lost in the whole thing, where it's like where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
If it becoming like too serious.
Yeah. Do you watch much of the influence boxing, or do you just see it online? Or?
No, I'll just see, like, when you're just scrolling through like Instagram or something, there'll be clips or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't like watch any of it.
Yeah.
I'll watch the clips. It'll be like a bit of a scrap.
Is there anyone that catches your eye that's like, actually, to be fair, that could be a kind of good boxer?
That's Sol Pappy.
You notice I was about to say that he's good and he's decent.
Yeah, he is. He's I think I'm sure someone said he had like a few amateurs and that.
Yeah.
So he's obviously like probably the more experienced out of all them.
Yeah.
It's probably why he's like taking the heads off.
But, it's funny because he does all that Naruto thing, and he's like in the thing he's got like that all the time. You don't think he takes it serious, and then he just hops in and whacks someone all over. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. He's probably I'd probably say he's the best, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. So obviously influencer boxing, it's good, but it's good. It's pros and cons like everything else does, and it could probably be a little bit less to help with pro boxing. What's coming up for you? What's in the next few months or so? What's coming up for you, mate?
Yeah, so I've got a couple of fights lined up. I'm fighting on the 28th of May in Hartlepool.
Yeah.
There's a few of the local lads on, so that'll be a good show. In Seaton Carews, is it the Sports Dome or something like that?
Yeah.
And then July, mid-July we've got back at Rayton Meadows.
Yeah.
So that's another show, and then hopefully there's another one by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So hopefully could finish on 10.
Yeah.
That'll be ideal.
10.
Yeah.
So how many on now? You're on
7.
7.
7 at the minute, yeah. So
obviously 1-7 anyway.
yeah.
6 by knockout, innit? Or
3.
3.
Yeah, 3 by now.
What? I've got to ask, like, what's it like knocking someone out? Is it like a euphoric feeling? What's it like?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's like a buzz that you can't really replicate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a one-off sort of feeling. Do you know, when all that hard work just pays off in like just a blink.
Yeah.
But it's but like when you land the punch, like I saw a video the other day and it was like it's the shot that you don't really feel that when it lands.
Yeah.
So like it's not like the shots that land where they're like crunchers and you can feel them on your knuckles.
Yeah.
They don't really probably hurt the person as much. It's like the one that like there's no connection.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like there's no connection. You don't even feel it land.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a.
I've got to ask. I think you might say the fight that I'm gonna ask about. What was the most crazy? Like obviously you see it doesn't feel it land. What's the craziest knockout you've had?
I'd probably see the Stadium of Light one.
What are you gonna say that?
Yeah.
I was doing videography right mate for that, and I was watching it, and it was one of those shots. It was the left hook or the right hook, one of them.
Right hook.
Right hook.
Yeah.
I've got the video. I'll insert the video on the podcast.
Yeah.
Mate, it's crazy. You can't even see. You high punch that fast. You can't even see it connect. The guy just flops. I was like standing ringside, the whole crowd. You got this massive stadium full of people going, whoa! And you just like, it's normal, innit? You just walk on. And what was this guy doing this? But it's pretty mad, mate. But yeah, what do you do in your spare time? Obviously, boxing takes a lot of your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's I do like I'm like self-employed at Amazon as well, delivering.
Okay.
So when I don't have fights coming up, I'll just go and work do some work for them for a bit.
Yeah.
But then when the fights come off, my boss is dead sound. You know, he gives us all that like time off, whatever I want. He just lets us work whenever.
Yeah.
So when I've got a fight coming up, it's just like full time with the boxing.
Yeah.
I just concentrate on that, so I can be the best version of myself.
Yeah. No big chance of getting a sponsorship from Big Bezos, like?
Nah, you just hire a few below that, that'll be alright.
Why not, mate? Champagne's getting them, innit?
Exactly.
So,
hit them up.
To wrap this up, mate, I've got a quick thing, right? So I was on TikTok yesterday, I'm obsessed with TikTok, right? And I keep seeing these things pop up, I don't know if you've seen them, they're like speed questions.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a few speed questions, right?
Yeah.
Answer the best I can, right? They're pretty deep as well, you know.
Oh.
I was trying to answer them the other day, I was like, that's pretty deep. So the first one is, what's a chance you wish you took?
Ooh.
It's a tough one, isn't it? It's tough.
Probably be when I got scouted as a young'un for football. I wish I had took that football contract. No, man. I'm only joking.
Do you like this guy?
No, I can't play football.
Sorry, no looking at. Right, what's next one is what's one thing that you regret?
One thing I regret. I try to think of the mindset of having no regrets, to be honest.
I know what mine is. I don't know, mine's probably mad, you know. It's not even mad, it's just weird. Eating barbecue sauce.
Eating barbecue sauce?
Mate, I'm obsessed with barbecue sauce. Any food I have to have barbecue sauce now.
I do like barbecue sauce.
That's my regret. Do you want to skip that one?
Yeah, we'll skip that.
Right, next one, last one is, what's your guilty pleasure?
Ooh. Probably Pizza.
Pizza. You know, I like burger, right? This is the best burger, by the way. If you can't anywhere that does proper homemade burgers, you gotta ask for this. You get a burger, right? Brioche bun, 2 burgers, cheese, bit of barbecue sauce, pickles, right? Pulled pork, barbecue pulled pork on it.
Barbecue.
And a hash brown, mate. Telling you, that is the best.
Where's that from, eh?
Oh, it's kind of a mix. You can get them from on the quayside, Stack Burger. They do a Yellowstone burger.
Right, yeah.
They don't do a naughty one. And then there's another one, Fire Pit. You ever tried that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you need to try that after the fight. We'll have to get you on.
Aye,
We'll have to
definitely,
hop
mate.
back
That
on.
sounds a plan.
But it's been a good chat, mate.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I have, mate. Thanks for having us on.
Bit different?
It's been a bit good crack. Been in the gym this morning,
Yeah.
then this, and back to the gym. Later on to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Living the life.
So would you do it again?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah? Should we get back on again?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Get us back on whenever.
Yeah.
I'll come back on that later on.
So you heard it here first, guys. We're going to get Ewan back on at some point. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in. We'll see you 4 dates, is it?
Yeah.
4 dates this year. Big exciting time for you. And the next show for Jobs is the we've got 28th of May and the 14th of July for the Rating Medals. Big stack fight card comes soon, so make sure you check them socials. Ewan's socials will also be in the bio if you want to go check them out. But again, thanks for listening and tuning in. See you guys in the next one.